All right, guys, welcome back into another PGA DFS video. It is draft night, so I'm wearing the ultimate kind of draft, not bust, but kind of just got screwed over with this whole draft day approach there. I know a lot of people are probably going to be watching that, so we probably won't have as many viewers in here, but if you guys are in here live, make sure to get those questions in, and I'll get those answered for you. But just kind of want to go over the Valspar Championship. We're going to be looking at ownership to start off with. Then we'll obviously do that round one recap and get into those round two picks. And as always, we're going to give you the winner here after round one. Just been nailing that. So I think last week or 2 weeks ago, I'd have to double check, but I think the player was 11th on the leaderboard, most likely to win. So, still pretty good. I know it was top 10 prior to that, but still pretty darn good. Since we've been doing that with the 9 to 5 leaderboard, giving the ranks out, win rank, it's been 100% from the top 11, which is still pretty darn good. But just kind of looking over the ownership, we see Corey Connors ended up being the most owned, then Chris Kirk, then Jason Kokrak. Was a little bit surprised to see Sungjae Im get up there as much as he did. Really, the differences in projected ownership and actual ownership was just the fact that people ended up just getting on players even more, which that's something that shocked me. So I'm just going to sort it by difference here. Corey Connors ended up being 6% more owned. Yeah, everyone was just more owned than expected. And that's because we saw a drop-off of some of these other players that probably maybe should have been a little bit higher owned. Kind of shocked to see like Neiman as low as he was compared to Sungjae Im. Jason Kokrak was a lot higher owned than Ryan Palmer. Just some of those small things were pretty interesting to me as a whole, but really no one too crazily highly owned, if you will. And I mean, no real shocks. I guess one that I saw was kind of, to me, Vincent Whaley was like 1% owned. I thought he was kind of the clear-cut value play this week in that range. Like if you're going to go out of your way to play a value play, it would have been Vincent Whaley. He was 1% owned. There's some other value plays that got up to like 2-3% owned. So I don't know, just small things here and there, but overall ownership was pretty correct. But let's get into that recap of round one. So I got it pulled up here on kind of the new look leaderboard here at 95 Sports. It's pretty much the same thing, just kind of update the background and whatnot. But we are still waiting for one round or two golfers to finish. Once those two finish, this will give out the actual data that we're looking for. So don't have that just yet, but it'll be there for us in a few minutes here. But just looking at it, so Keegan Bradley went off and dominated. That's really not shocking. He did rank out well, top 7 stat fit, top 17 in the model. I can pull him up here on the player pool. He was a mid-exposure play. And just touching on the player pool, guys, it is looking pretty darn good. Really, the only worries that I have right now, maybe Ryan Palmer, who bogeyed his last hole. Didn't like that. Then we also are kind of a little bit worried about maybe Chris Kirk a little bit, I guess. I'm not that worried about him, but, maybe him. Other than that, it's going pretty darn solid here. Yeah, really, it could be a good week this week. Let's just put it that way. Getting back into it. So, yeah, Keegan Bradley, no surprise that he's playing that well, but he did putt pretty well. I mean, if he continues to putt this decent, he's either going to go out and win it. I know a lot of people were making jokes about from first to miscut, how this was the tournament and how it's going to happen again. And, man, I hope not. I feel bad for Keegan if that goes out and happens again. I'm not expecting that. We don't want that. Just looking at it, he is actually the most likely to win, and then Grillo. And then Moore, and then Homa, actually, which is a little bit shocking to me. Do you want to just see, like, who is highly owned right now that could potentially miss the cut? So we'll do, I guess, top 10%. And we'll sort it by current place, but we'll sort it back-ended. So Russell Henley, he was, kind of higher owned. Louis Oosthuizen, Sky Scheffler, Denny McCarthy. Yeah, he did struggle down the stretch, which was unfortunate. He was someone that I thought would be higher owned than he was. Kind of unfortunate there. He's really could be my big miss, I guess, if you will, for me personally. That'd be the only worry there. I think he's going to be, able to bounce back here. Doug Gim as well. DJ currently outside the cut line. Fade him again this week, so hopefully that comes true. That'd be great. And I did notice, I kind of thought it was strange, but like the amount of line side 6 for 6 across the cut line was less than 5%. last time I looked, which was like 30 minutes ago. So that could have changed, here or there. But kind of crazy that we're seeing that number to me. It's a little bit shocking to me. Because if that happens, it's going to be a great week. I thought it was kind of an easier week. You just jam in those guys that, were in the 8K range, 9K range, and you'd be seeing pretty. Do kind of just want to look at how the model is doing as well, and then we'll get into those round 2 showdown picks. So let's just see here as well. Put this down. And then let's do this again. All right, so let's just look at how like the top 12 is doing. So Russell Henley made that very clear that he was going to be a hit or miss option. Not really worried about that. Same thing with Doug Gim as well. Not really worried about that. I did not end up on Scotty Scheffler. So let's just put it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So pretty much everyone that I felt good about as a play this week that wasn't like a hit or miss GPP option are looking pretty solid. DJ was someone that I liked, but I chose to fade. Just didn't like the price point, so hopefully he misses the cut. Couldn't end up on Scotty Scheffler. Nice to see Jason Kokrak doing well. Like I said, he was a core play. Love seeing that. Would love to see Patrick Reed miss the cut. I don't want people to get rewarded for paying up for Patrick Reed at that price point. I just don't. Oh, Dustin Johnson is going to go pretty low, I bet there, Christopher. And Justin Thomas, I haven't looked yet, but I'm going to guess he's going to rank out as like one of the best showdown picks for round 2 here. I don't know, he just starts off slow with his rounds and then eventually just hits. Like, he is the best in scoring before the cut, but he just starts off so slow. I don't know what it is. And I would kind of agree that Justin Thomas does probably get a little bit too much love than he deserves. But obviously he's a great player. But yeah, it's looking like it could be a solid week. I hope this continues. Next week, or tomorrow, it's kind of one of those things where when you have a really good day one, it typically comes back and, it kind of evens out. Let's just hope it is, though. That'd be great. Be fun. It'd be fun to start off this stretch with a massive week because, like, from the Valspar Championship to about, like, 2.5 months from now, it's going to be straight, perfect DFS tournament weeks. Like, this is the core season for PGA DFS players. That's what gets me excited. You got the flu flow tournaments out of the way, like I mentioned on the core plays video. Those are out of the way, and we are going to be good to go now. So I'm pretty excited for the stretch, especially because all the data is in. We know, like, the players that we're going to be on are going to consistently be producing. It's not like the start of the season where you kind of have to, take everything with a grain of salt because players just don't have enough rounds. That's not the case this week, which is great. All right, so we're going to look at round 2 regression rank here. So most likely to regress in round 2. This is players that are most likely to have a better round. So we're seeing someone like Russell Henley most likely to have a better round here. We can kind of see why I already mentioned, good ranked out well on the model, kind of a hit or miss play. He is someone that we do expect to have a better round than he did in round 1. Looking at Taylor Gooch, he does typically play well in round 2 as well. Finished 45th. That's someone that I could see going out and playing well as well. Don't mind Taylor Gooch as a pick this week for the showdown in round 2. Louis Oosthuizen once again. Let's see here. Yeah, really no shocks there for players that are most likely to go out and play well in round 2. It's just something fun to look at. And then let's see players that, probably are going to have a worse day. All right, no real surprises there. No big names popping up there. Now we'll look at the round 2 showdown, right? This is what you guys can go to. It's a simple, easy tool to go to at 9to5 Sports to just tell you, hey, these are going to be the best plays. Now, I always like to focus on the morning wave. So you'd want to focus on whichever players here are in the morning wave. It's typically what I like to do. They typically do a little bit better. Do you like Keegan Bradley? I kind of think Keegan will keep it up. I already mentioned it a little bit that, Keegan, this is the tournament that, he really fell off a cliff. I think he's got it. I really like Keegan this week. I liked him at the start of the week. I got on him more as the week went on. Didn't put him on the betting card, which is unfortunate, but I think he's going to be a good pick. Aaron says this is not important right now. This is important right now. Josh Rosen. Not really Josh Rosen, but Trey Lance. That's what's important. Where's he going to go? Here's my buddy. We're kind of distraught about the Aaron Rodgers news, although I think it's a lot of fake news there. He probably doesn't, but I do. But just looking at the round 2 showdown pick, so Justin Thomas, yeah, I think he's going to be a great round 2 showdown pick here, guys. So Justin Thomas, we can kind of see, 28th place, had a so-so round here in round 1, -2. He probably could have shot a little bit better. I know after the eagle on 1 and then the birdie on 2, I was like, dang, how could I fade Justin Thomas? And then sure as shit, that's all he did for the whole day pretty much. So yeah, he's expected to have a good round. Round 2 is his best round. Throughout the season, that's been his best round. Ranks out pretty well. Expect to have, kind of a little bit better of a round there. Victor Hovland, same thing. He didn't really do much. Could easily see him go out and play well. Top 11 in the mile, top 10 stat fit, -2, didn't really do much. He's someone I could definitely see go out and play better. Joaquin Niemann, kind of same thing. I do really like DJ though as well. He's someone that really has been a slow starter. I talked about Justin Thomas potentially being a slow starter, while Dustin Johnson has been a very slow starter as well. I think round 1 has actually been his worst round statistically. So yeah, he ranks, let's just pull this up here. He ranks 141 in round 1 scoring. Everything else is pretty solid. So as long as he doesn't completely blow up in round 1, like we saw, he can go out and have a great round. So he's expected to have a better round. Patton Kizzire casually popping up there as well. I could see that, if you want to go like Justin Thomas, DJ, and Patton Kizzire to target that morning wave tee times, I'm fine with that. I don't mind that. Will Corey Connors turn things around? I think so. I think Corey Connors will be, a solid play tomorrow. He doesn't have that morning tee time like we would like, but he is someone that's ranking out pretty well. Top 15 for round 2 rank. That would tell us that he is expected to have a pretty good round 2. The fact that he didn't struggle today, but he didn't really have anything going today, tells me that, most likely he's going to have a much better round 2. He's going to be able to go and score in round 2. So for me, probably do still want to go that fair and balanced approach. So I would honestly really like to go Corey Connors and Ryan Palmer. Now, Ryan Palmer is one of the players that I'm going to be on probably the most for round 2 showdown. If I had to say someone was a core play for round 2 showdown, it'd be him. I know a lot of people are on Louis Oosthuizen, who ranks out top 20 for round 2 scoring. You could end up on him, and I'd be fine with that. I don't mind that. Trey Lance going to Atlanta at 4. I don't know. I'm kind of curious as to what the quarterback situation does shake out to be. Interesting. I don't know. I don't really like the baby faces with Justin Fields. I don't know. I don't. And the BYU quarterback, can't even think of his name right now. Don't really like them. I don't know. Everyone just looks young nowadays. I don't know. It's a strange thing quarterback wise. So I like Trey Lance. What I'm trying to say there. But Atlanta getting rid of Matt Ryan. I don't know. I want Trey Lance to start right away. So I kind of hope if he does go to Atlanta that he can start right away. That they trade him. So trade Matt Ryan. But yeah, let's talk about who is going to win here, and then we'll be getting out of here. Let me click off Louis Oosthuizen. All right, so this is what's going to be the most accurate. Is focusing on which round we're in and going from there. So you can do this rank, which is great. This works out well. This is going to be highly accurate as well, but this is slightly adjusted more so for the full amount of the tournament that's left, whereas this is specifically focusing on their round-by-round performance. So it's factoring in their round-by-round performance, where the other one is kind of just saying everything's even. It doesn't really count the round-by-round performance. It's kind of just saying these guys are going to essentially continue to play well throughout their next, 2 rounds, 3 rounds. This is telling us that, hey, we're factoring in the round-by-round performance, and this is kind of how they're showing up. So Paul Casey, ranking out number 1, that makes sense. Has great course history, was the top 5 in the model. Makes sense. Abraham Answer as well. All these guys really make sense. Kind of the surprising one to me, Sam Burns popping up, and he is one that 5 players, and so is Ryan Moore. I'm kind of mad about that just missed out on the player pool for me. Sam Burns was a guy that was casually popping up a lot for me this week, and I couldn't end up on him. And so I don't mind him as a pick. So Sam Burns could easily be someone that you end up on. And then rounding out the top 10, we got Justin Thomas, Sungjae Im, Ryan Moore. So kind of interesting. Patton Kizzire there at 11. So if I had to give one pick to win, I would honestly go with Abraham Answer. I kind of like him a lot. I think that'd be the route I'd go. Yeah, Paul Casey, honestly, that'd be awesome. I can't cheer against him to three-peat. I would love to see him three-peat again. That'd be pretty awesome to see. Love to see Paul Casey three-peat. It's just something you don't see. I think the last one was Steve Stricker at the John Deere Classic. Forget what it was. I saw that tweet out there, which was pretty awesome to see. But that's all I have for you guys for this one. I know a lot of people are already watching the draft coverage and whatnot. Just want to get this in before it started. Hopefully my Packers don't mess this draft up like they did last year, because that was brutal. I'm honestly, they made me not be excited for the draft this year because of their horrible draft last year. I think that might be the worst draft I'll ever witness in my life was last year. So hopefully, it can't be any worse this year for them. So that'll be nice. That'll be nice. I can't wait to see them not draft a receiver again this year, though. That'll be fun. Really looking forward, though, to the next round. Round 2. It should be a good cut sweat for the Valspar Championship. In a good spot with a lot of my builds. If that number of 6 for 6 number stays at around 5 to 10%, could be a massive week. So I am kind of cheering for the chalk that I wasn't on to go out and not play well. I'm talking about Justin Thomas. I'm talking about Louis Oosthuizen, who might have ended up on him a little bit. I forget there. Louis Oosthuizen was one of those separate high tier plays, so it's not something I really went out of my way to play. So I wouldn't mind seeing him miss the cut. And DJ, that'd be huge if he misses the cut as well. That'd be crazy if he does again. But that's all I have for you guys for this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a good draft, or a fun draft night, and I hope you have a good cut sweat for you guys on Friday. All right, thanks for watching, guys.